Welcome to Anonymous Tarot. I'm Cleo, mythologist and ceremonial practitioner, and I'm here with Billy. Today, we're exploring the Tower, a card of upheaval and revelation.
I love the Tower. It's like a wake-up call, a jolt to the system, forcing us to confront the status quo and rebuild from the ashes.
The Tower is also associated with the breaking down of illusions and the shattering of ego. It's a card of chaos and upheaval, but also of transformation and renewal.
The Tower can be a very painful card, but it's also a catalyst for growth. It's like the universe is saying, hey, it's time to let go of what's holding you back and start anew.
I like to think of the Tower as a symbol of the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's a reminder that even in the midst of destruction, there is always the potential for rebirth and renewal.
For me, the Tower represents the mystery of the unknown, the part of ourselves that we can't control or explain. It's a reminder that there are forces beyond our understanding at work in the world.
In ancient Greek mythology, the Tower is associated with the god Dionysus. When Dionysus was born, his mother, Semele, couldn't bear to look at him, fearing his divine heritage would consume her. She begged Zeus to take him away, but Zeus was forced to show himself in all his divine glory, which Semele couldn't handle. She was incinerated by the radiance of his divine presence.
That's fascinating, Cleo. It's like the Tower represents a shattering of illusions, a breaking free from the constraints of what we think we should be. Dionysus' birth is a metaphor for the wild, unbridled energy that can be unleashed when we confront our deepest fears and desires.
Exactly. The Tower is a card of upheaval, of sudden change and revelation. It's a call to let go of the old, to shed the skin of our ego and step into the unknown. In many ancient cultures, the Tower was seen as a symbol of spiritual transformation.
I love how the Tower is associated with fire and light. It's like a sacred alchemy where the base metal of our old selves is transmuted into gold. But it's also a reminder that this process can be brutal, that we may be forced to confront our own darkness in order to emerge reborn.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Billy. The Tower is a reminder that true growth and transformation require us to venture into the unknown, to trust in the process of chaos and destruction that precedes new creation.
And yet, despite its associations with fire and upheaval, the Tower can also be seen as a symbol of freedom and liberation. When we are forced to confront our deepest fears, we may discover a newfound sense of empowerment and courage that we never knew we had.
In dreams, the Tower can manifest as a sudden, jarring experience, a feeling of being shaken awake from a comfortable complacency. It's as if the very foundations of our reality have been upended, leaving us disoriented and questioning the status quo.
For me, the Tower represents the break between our conscious and subconscious selves. It's the point at which our rational minds are forced to confront the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of our waking lives.
In ancient mythologies, the Tower is often associated with the symbol of the lightning bolt, a powerful force that shatters the complacency of the old to make way for the new. This can be seen as a powerful catalyst for transformation and renewal.
I think the Tower also speaks to the fragility of our ego, how it can be shattered by the harsh realities of the world. It's a reminder that our sense of self is not fixed, but rather a dynamic and ever-changing entity.
The Tower can also be seen as a call to awaken to our true nature, to let go of the artificial constructs that hold us back and tap into our deeper, more primal selves. It's a reminder that we are not separate from the natural world, but an integral part of it.
I'm drawn to the idea that the Tower represents a kind of initiation, a rite of passage that forces us to confront our deepest fears and desires. It's a moment of raw honesty where we are forced to confront the parts of ourselves that we've been trying to keep hidden.
The Tower can be a very unsettling card, especially when it comes to our own inner lives. It suggests a sudden, intense change, like a storm that shakes the foundations of our understanding.
I think that's what makes it so fascinating, the sense that our lives can be turned upside down at any moment. We are forced to confront the parts of ourselves we've been trying to keep hidden.
That's where the symbolism of the tower comes in the lightning bolt, the flames, the shattering of glass. It's a reminder that our perception of reality can be fragile and easily disrupted.
And I think that's what can be both terrifying and liberating. The idea that we can be shattered, but also reborn from those ashes.
The tower can also represent a breaking point, where we're forced to let go of old patterns and habits that no longer serve us. It's a call to renewal and transformation.
But what about the pain and chaos that comes with that transformation? How do we navigate the darkness and come out the other side?
The tower is a card of sudden change, upheaval, and revelation. When we flip this card, we're looking at the aftermath of the shattering. The question is, how do we rebuild ourselves after such a dramatic collapse?
I think that's where the symbolism of the tower's foundation, which is shattered, becomes really revealing. We're not just talking about external structures, but also our internal frameworks and belief systems. What happens when the ground beneath us gives way?
Exactly. And it's not just about rebuilding, but also about letting go of what no longer serves us. The tower is a card of purification, of releasing the old to make way for the new. But how do we find the courage to do that?
I think that's where the power of the unknown comes in. When we are faced with the tower's sudden change, we are forced to confront our deepest fears and desires. It's only by embracing the uncertainty that we can begin to rebuild ourselves anew.
That's so true. And I think it's also important to remember that the tower is not just about individual transformation, but also about the collective. How do we rebuild our communities and our world after such a dramatic collapse?
I think that's where the symbolism of the tower's flames becomes really relevant. It's not just about the destruction, but also about the potential for rebirth and renewal. When we burn away the old, we create space for something new to emerge.
The tower is a card of sudden upheaval, a catalyst for transformation. It can represent a violent reckoning with the status quo, forcing us to confront the illusions we've built around ourselves.
I think what's interesting about the tower is how it can also represent a moment of liberation. When the old structures are shattered, we are left with the freedom to rebuild in a new way.
Yes, but what about the pain and chaos that comes with it? The tower can be a very intense experience, one that requires us to confront the darkness within ourselves and others.
That's where the concept of sacred destruction comes in, the idea that sometimes we need to let go of the old to make way for the new. The tower can be a reminder that transformation is a necessary part of growth.
I see what you mean about sacred destruction, but it's also possible that the tower represents a moment of reckoning with the external world. Sometimes, we're forced to confront the consequences of our actions, and that can be a very difficult and painful experience.
That's a good point, Cleo. I think the tower can also represent a moment of alignment when our inner and outer worlds finally come into sync. It's a reminder that true transformation starts from within.
The cards have spoken.
We'll see you at the next draw.